So, and she told him the whole story. I did not buy it. I found it in the river while I was washing, and she told him the whole story. I'm very glad that you found it. Let us eat it now, for I am hungry, said Ophi-san. He brought out the kitchen knife, and placing a peach on a board, was about to cut it when, wonderful to tell, the peach split in two of itself, and a clear voice said, "Wait a bit, old man," and out stepped a beautiful little child. The old man and his wife were so astonished that they fell to the ground. The child spoke again. "Don't be afraid. I am no demon or fairy. I will tell you the truth. Heaven had compassion on you. Every day and every night you have been lamented so that you had no child. Your cry has been heard, and I am sent to be the son of your old age." On hearing this, old man and his wife were very happy. They have cried night and day for sorrow at having no child to help them in their lonely old age. And now their prayer was being answered. So lost with joy that they did not know where to put their hands or their feet. First the old man took the child up in his arms, and then the old woman did the same, and they named him Momotaro, or the son of a peach, because he had come out of a peach. The years passed quickly, and the child grew to be 15 years of age. He was taller and far stronger than any of the other boys his own age. He became a handsome face and a heart full of courage. He was very wise for his years. The old couple's pleasure was very great when they looked at him, for he was just like they thought a hero ought to be. One day Momotaro came to his foster father and said solemnly, "Father, by a strange chance we have become father and son. Your goodness to me has been higher than the mountain grasses, which it was your daily work to cut, and deeper than the river my mother washes the clothes, and I do not know how to thank you enough." "Why? It is a matter of course that a father should bring up his son. When you are older, it will be your turn to take care of us. There will be no profit or loss between us. All will be equal. Indeed, I am rather surprised that you should thank me in this way." The old man looked bothered. I hope you will be patient with me," said Momotaro. "But before I begin to pay back your goodness to me, I have a request to make, which I hope you will grant me above anything else. I will let you do whatever you wish, for you are quite different than all the other boys." "Then let me go away at once." "What did you say? Do you wish to leave your old father and mother to go away from your old home? I will surely come back again if you let me go now." "Where are you going? You must think it was strange because I want to go away," said Momotaro. "Because I have not yet told you my reason. Far away from here is to the northeast of Japan is a land of the sea. This island is a stronghold of the band of devils. I've often heard how they invade this land, kill and rob the people, and carry off all they can find. They are not only very wicked, but they are very disloyal to our emperor and disobey his laws. They are also cannibals, who are so unfortunate as to fall into their hands. These devils are very hateful beings. I must go and conquer them and bring back all the plunder which they have robbed this land from. It is for this reason I want to go away for a short time." The old man was much surprised at hearing this from a mere boy 15. He thought it was best to let the boy go. He was strong, fearless, and besides all this, the old man knew he was no common child, for he has been sent them as a gift from the heavens, as he felt quite sure the devils would be powerless to harm him. "All you say is very interesting, Momotaro," said the old man. "I will not hinder you in your determination. You may go if you wish. Go to the island as soon as ever you would like, and destroy the demons and bring peace to the land." "Thank you for all your kindness," said Momotaro, who began to get ready to go of that very day. He was full of courage and did not know what fear was. The old man and woman at once set to work to pound rice cakes in the kitchen mortar for Momotaro to take with him on his journey. At last the cakes were made, and Momotaro was ready to start on his long journey. Parting is always sad, so it was now. The eyes of the two old people were filled with tears and voices trembled as they said, "Go with all care and speed. We expect you back victorious." Momotaro was very sorry to leave his old parents, though he knew he was coming back as soon as he could. He thought of how lonely they would be as he was away, but he said, "Goodbye," quite bravely. "I am going now. Take good care of yourself while I'm away. Goodbye." And he stepped quickly out of the house. In silence, the eyes of Momotaro and his parents met in farewell. Momotaro now hurried on his way till it was midday. He began to feel hungry, so he opened his bag and took out one of the rice cakes and sat down under a tree, or under the side of the road to eat it. While he was thus having his lunch, a dog almost as large as a colt came running out of nowhere from the high grass. He made straight for Momotaro. Showing his teeth, said in a fierce way, "You are a rude man to pass my field without asking permission first. If you leave me with all the cakes in your bag, you may go. Otherwise, I will bite you till I kill you." Momotaro only laughed scornfully. "What is it you are saying? Do you know who I am? I am Momotaro, and I am on my way to subdue the devils in their land stronghold in the northeast of Japan. If you try to stop me on my way, I will cut you in two from the heads downward." The dog's manner at once changed. His tail dropped between his legs, and coming near, he bowed, so low that his forehead touched the ground. "What do I hear? The name of Momotaro? Are you indeed Momotaro? I have not often heard of your great strength. Not knowing who you were, I behaved in a very stupid way. Will you please pardon my rudeness? Are you indeed on your way to invade the island of devils? If you take such a rude fellow as one of your followers, I shall be very grateful to you." "I think I can take you with me, if you wish to go," said Momotaro. "Thank you," said the dog. "By the way, I'm very hungry. Will you give me one of the cakes you are carrying?" "This is the best kind of cake in Japan," said Momotaro. "I cannot spare you a whole one. I will give you half of one." "Thank you very much," said the dog, taking the piece thrown to him. Then Momotaro got up and the dogs followed. For a long time they walked over the hills and through the valleys. As they were going along, an animal came from a tree a little ahead of them. The creatures soon came up to Momotaro and said, "Good morning, Momotaro. Are you welcome? You are welcome in this part of the country. Will you allow me to go with you?" The dog answered jealously, "Momotaro already has a dog to accompany him. Of what use is a monkey like you in the battle? We are on our way to fight the devils. Get away." The dog and the monkey began to quarrel and bite, for these two animals always hated each other. "Now don't quarrel," said Momotaro, putting himself between them. "Wait a moment, dog. It is not all that dignified to have such a creature as that following you," said the dog. "What do you know about it?" asked Momotaro, and pushing aside the dog, he spoke to the monkey. "Who are you?" "I am a monkey living in these hills," replied the monkey. "I have heard of your expedition to the island of devils, and I have come to go with you. Nothing will please me more than to follow you. Do you really wish to go to the island of devils and fight with me?" "Yes, sir," replied the monkey. "I admire your courage," said Momotaro. "Here is a piece of one of my fine rice cakes. Come along." So the monkey joined Momotaro. The dog and the monkey did not get on well together. They were always snapping at each other as they went along, and always wanted to have a fight. This made Momotaro very cross, and at last he sent the dog, on ahead with a flag and put the monkey behind with a sword, and he placed himself between them with a war fan, which is made of iron. Sorry. By and by, they came to a large field. Here a bird flew down and alighted on the ground, just in front of the little party. It was the most beautiful bird Momotaro has ever seen. On its body were 5 different robes of feathers, and its head was covered with a scarlet cap. The dog at once ran at the bird and tried to seize and kill it. The bird struck out its spurs and flew at the dog's tail. And its fight went hard both. Momotaro, as he looked on, could not help admiring the bird. It showed so much spirit in the fight. It would certainly make a good fighter. Momotaro went up to the two combatants and holding the dog back said to the bird, "You rascal, you are hindering my journey. Surrender at once and I will take you with me. If you don't, I will set this dog to bite your head off." The bird surrendered at once and begged to be taken into Momotaro's company. I do not know what excuse to offer for quarreling with this dog. Your servant, but I did not see you. I am a miserable bird called a pheasant. It is very generous of you to pardon my rudeness and take me with you. Please allow me to follow you behind the dog and the monkey. I congratulate you on surrendering so soon, said Momotaro, smiling. Come and join us in our raid onto the devils. Are you going to take this bird with you also? Said the dog, interrupting. Why did you ask such an unnecessary question? Didn't you hear what I just said? I take the bird with me because I wish to, said the dog. Then Momotaro stood up and gave this order. Now all of you must listen to me. The first thing necessary in the army is a harmony, which is a wise saying that says, advantage on earth is better than advantage in heaven. A union amongst ourselves is better than any earthly gain. When we are not peace amongst ourselves, it's no easy thing to subdue an enemy. From now, you three, the dog, the monkey, and the pheasant, must be friends with one mind. The one who first begins a quarrel will be discharged on the spot. All the three promised to not quarrel. The pheasant was now a member of Momotaro's suite and received a half a cake. Momotaro's influence was so great that the three became good friends and hurried onwards as him as their leader. Hurrying on day after day, at last came out upon the shore of the northeastern sea. There was nothing to be seen as far as the horizon, not a sign of any land. All that broke in the stillness was the rolling of the waves upon the shore. Now, the dog and the monkey and the pheasant had come very bravely all this way. Through the long valleys and over the hills they had never seen the sea before, and for the first time they set out. They were bewildered and gazed each other in silence. How are they going to cross the water and get to the island of the devils? Momotaro soon saw that they were daunted by the sight of the sea, and tried to speak them loudly and roughly. Why do you hesitate? Are you afraid of the sea? Oh, what cowards you are! It is impossible to take such weak creatures as you with me to fight the demons. It would be far better for me to go alone. I discharge you all at once. The three animals were taking aback the sharp reproof, and clung to Momotaro's sleeve, begging him not to send them away. Please, Momotaro, said the dog, we have come thus far, said the monkey. It is inhuman to leave us here, said the pheasant. We are not all afraid of the sea, said the monkey again. Please do take us with you, said the pheasant. Do please, said the dog. They had now gained a little courage, so Momotaro said, well then, I will take you with me, but be careful. Momotaro now got a small ship, and they all got on board. The wind and weather were fair. The ship went like an arrow over the sea. It was the first time they had ever been on the water, and so first the dog and the monkey and the pheasant were frightened, but now the waves and the rolling of the vessel, but by degrees they grew accustomed to the water, and they were happy again. Every day they paced the deck of their little ship, eagerly looking out for the demon's island. They grew tired of this. Sorry. They told each other stories of all their exploits, of which they were proud, and then played games together. And Momotaro found much to amuse in listening to these three animals and watching their antics. And in this way he forgot that the way was long, and that he was tired of the voyage and doing nothing. He longed to be at work killing the monsters who had done so much to harm his country. As the wind blew in their favor and they met no storms, the ship made a quick voyage, and one day, when the sun was shining brightly, a sight of land rewarded the four watchers at the bow. Momotaro knew at once what they saw the devil's stronghold. On the top of the precipitous, I'm just going to call it that, shore, looking out to sea, was a large castle. Now his enterprise was close at hand. He was deep in thought, with his head leaning on his hands, wondering how he should begin with the attack. His three followers watched him, waiting for the orders. At last he called to the pheasant. It is a great advantage for us to have you with us, said Momotaro to the bird. For you have good wings. Fly at once to the castle and engage the demons to fight. We will follow you. The pheasant at once obeyed. He flew off the ship, beating the air gladly with his wings. The bird soon reached the island and took position on the roof in the middle of the castle, calling out loudly, "All you devils, listen to me. The great Japanese general Momotaro has come to fight you and take your stronghold from you. If you wish to save your life, surrender at once. If you wish to save your, I mean, if you, and in token of your submission, you must break off the horns that grow on your forehead. If you do not surrender at once, me, the pheasant, the dog, and the monkey will kill you all by biting and tearing you to death." The horned demons, looking up and seeing only seeing a pheasant, laughed and said, "What a wild pheasant indeed! It is ridiculous to hear such words from a mean thing like you. Wait till you get a blow from one of our iron bars." Very angry indeed were the devils. They shook their horns and they shook in their shocks of red hair fiercely, and rushed to put on tiger skin trousers to make themselves look more terrible. Then they brought great iron bars and ran to the pheasant where perched over their castle. The pheasant flew one side to escape the blow and then attacked the head of the first one. And then the other demon, he flew around them, beating the air with his wings fiercely and ceaselessly. The devils began wondering whether they were fighting one or many more birds. The large castle was surrounded by high walls and large iron gates was strongly fortified. Momotaro landed and, with the hope of finding some way of entrance, walked up to the path towards the top, followed by the monkey and the dog. They soon came upon two beautiful damsels who were washing clothes in the stream. Momotaro saw that clothes were blood-stained, and as the two maidens washed, tears were falling fast down to their cheeks. He stopped and spoke to them. "Who are you? Why do you weep? We are captives of the Demon King. We are carried away from our homes to this island, and even though we're the daughters of daimyos, lords, we are obliged to be his servants, and one day he will kill us." And the maidens held up the blood-stained clothes, "And eat us, and there's no way to help us." And their tears burst out afresh as the horrible thought. "I will rescue you," said Momotaro. "Do you not weep any more. Only show me how I may get in the castle." Then the two ladies led the way to the door, and then showed Momotaro a little back door in the lowest part of the castle wall, so small that Momotaro could hardly crawl in. The pheasant, who was all this time fighting hard, saw Momotaro and his little band rush into the back. So Momotaro's onslaught was furious that the devils could not stand against him. At first their foe has been a single bird, the pheasant, but now Momotaro and the dog and the monkey have arrived, and they were bewildered. So the four enemies fought like 100. So strong were they. Some of the devils fell off the parapet of the castle and were dashed to pieces on the rocks beneath. Others fell into the sea and were drowned. Many were beaten to death by the three animals. The chief of the devils was the only one left. He made up his mind to surrender, for he knew his enemy was stronger than mortal man. He came up humbly to Momotaro and threw down his iron bar, kneeling down at the victor's feet as he broke off the horns in his head in token of submission, for they were the signs of his strength and power. "I am afraid of you," he said meekly. "I cannot stand against you. I will give you all the treasure hidden in my castle if you will spare my life." Momotaro laughed. "It is not like you, big devil, to beg for mercy, is it? I cannot spare your wicked life, how much you beg, for you have killed and tortured many people and robbed our country for many years." Then Momotaro tied up the devil chief and gave him into the monkey's charge. Having done this, he went in all to the rooms in the castle and set all the prisoners free and gathered together the treasure he found. The dog and pheasant carried home the plunder, and thus Momotaro returned triumphantly to his house, taking with him the devil chief as a captive. The two poor damsels, the daughters of daimyos, and the other of the wicked demon, had carried off to be his slaves, or were taken safely to their own homes and delivered to their parents. The whole country made a hero of Momotaro on his triumphant return, and rejoiced that the country was now freed of the robber devil who had been the terror of the land for a long time. The old couple's joy was greater than ever, and the treasure Momotaro has brought with him had enabled for them to live in peace and plenty to the end of their days. The end.